guys. Sorry I couldn't be here today. I hope that this lesson still makes sense for you and that you are being really respectful to your son. All right, so you already talked about like terms and about why we combine them, which is what we're trying to do today. So first I want to talk about exactly what like terms are. On your notes, you have some examples of like terms and some non-examples of like terms. So like terms are things that have the same variable part. So in this example, all of these are like terms because they all have an A. All of these numbers are like terms because they all have no variable part. They're called constants. These are non-examples. This first one, x and x squared, these are not the same because they both have x, but x is not raised to the same power. So these are non-examples. These, even though they have the same number part, they do not have the same variable part. Here's an x, here's a y, and here's a z. So that's why those are non-examples. So the definition you can write down is that like terms have the same exact variable part. And I'll put in parentheses and exponent. Okay, then to simplify, for today, it just means to combine like terms. So basically it means to write something using less numbers and phrases. But today we're going to define simplify as combine like terms. You can pause here if you need to get those down. Okay, so here's example one of combining like terms. Okay, never mind. Here's example one of combining like terms. Step one is to identify which are the like terms. And I like to do this using different shapes or different colors. So I see right here that I've got like terms in 4x and negative 3x because they both have the same exact variable part, which is x. So I'm going to put a box around those like terms. And then I see that I have 2 and 7. Those are also like terms because they both don't have a variable. So I'm going to put an oval around those numbers. So I identified the like terms. The next thing I need to do is to change my subtraction signs to plus and negative. Remember that this is the same as subtract, and we're going to be moving these terms around, and we don't want to lose that negative sign with the number it goes with. So we're going to change that to a plus negative sign. And I really recommend rewriting your expression here. Don't just try to sneak it in there, because it's easier to make mistakes when you don't rewrite it. So I'll put my shapes around these now. Notice how my terms are now all separated by plus. That's exactly what you want to have happen. Step 3 is arrange the terms so that the like terms are together. So I'm going to do first my squares, 4x and negative 3x. Notice that the negative came right with that, but it's still separated by a plus. And then I'm going to do my circle terms. So plus 2 plus 7. And you can do this because of the associative property of addition, which means that you can change the order in which, it's actually the commutative property. You can change the order in which you're adding things. Okay. Last step is that you are going to combine like terms. So now we have 4x's and negative 3x's together. That's just like 4 burgers and then taking away 3 burgers. So we can combine the squares or the like terms. And if you still want to have your squares around them, you can. I'm going to combine them. I know that 4 plus negative 3 is just 1x. And I don't even have to write the 1 if it's just 1. If it was any other number, I would put it in front. Plus, here, these terms I'm going to combine, and 2 plus 7 is 9. So that's my answer, x plus 9. If you want to see that again, feel free to pause the video and rewind it. This is also a good spot to pause the video and do section 1 of your classwork. They look just like these. Okay, welcome back. Here's example 2, and then you'll be ready for section 2 of your classwork. So this is really similar, except now we have some parentheses. So same exact process. First thing we're going to do is identify the like terms. This time I'll use a color. So I'm going to identify the 2a and the negative 4a. Those are like because they have the exact same variable part, which is a, as green. I'm going to call my constants, I'm sorry, those were blue. I'm going to call my constants green. And the last one I have here is b, and it doesn't have any like terms, but I'll give it red. I need to change the subtraction sign to the plus minus sign. So I'm going to rewrite this. And then my step 3 is to arrange this so the like terms are together. Now, you have parentheses here, and you're trained to do what's in parentheses first. Well, when you don't have anything outside the parentheses showing that you're multiplying, it's okay to just get rid of those parentheses. So when we rearrange these terms, I'm just going to pretend like the parentheses aren't there, and you can do that too. So I'm going to put my colors here again. Okay, and I'm going to arrange my terms so the like terms are together. So let's put the blue ones first. So I have 2a plus negative 4a. And then the green one's negative 3 plus 9. And notice that, again, these still all have plus in front of them. So even if it's a negative term, I still have a plus in front of it. And then lastly, I have plus b. And the last step is to then combine the like terms. So I'm going to take those 2 blue terms, 2 hamburgers plus negative 4 hamburgers would be negative 2 hamburgers, so negative 2a. Here I have negative 3 plus 9, that's going to be 6, use your number line. And lastly I have plus b. Alright, time for section 2 of your classwork. If that is all you finished, don't worry, that is all the mastery check is going to be on. Examples 1 and 2. If you do finish, there's a great way for you to practice what you learned last week along with this in example 3. So feel free to come back to this video if you do finish everything. Alright, here's example 3. And what we're going to be doing here is combining like terms and then substituting a number for our variable and evaluating our expression. That's what we did last Friday. So we're going to do the same process, and I'm just going to kind of quickly go through the combining like terms, and then we'll stop and talk about evaluating x is equal to negative 1. So first I'm going to combine like terms, and I'm going to identify what they are. I'm going to rewrite this first. 4x plus 2 plus negative 3x plus 18. And I just got rid of those parentheses because I'm not multiplying them by anything. Alright, so now I'm going to arrange so that my like terms are together. 4x plus minus 3x plus 2 plus 18. Now I will combine like terms. 4x plus negative 3x is x. 2 plus 18 is 20. So I have x plus 20. So now I'm going to substitute x equals negative 1 for x. It's a lot easier to wait and plug that in here than if I had gone and plugged it in my x's up here and then tried to figure that out. So wait to substitute until you've already simplified your expression. So I'll plug that in, negative 1 plus 20, and I know that that's equal to 19, and so that's my final answer. You can now work on section 3 of your classwork. If you finish that, remember that it is going to be graded. If you finish it, you can start on your homework that is due